Hey guys, Trevor with Shadow Systems, Technical Tuesday. We're out at the range and I thought let's do a quickie on strong hand only and weak hand only shooting, okay? So I'm gonna make the assumption that we're right now just operating from the stance we've talked about before where you're square to the target, okay? It doesn't necessarily have to be your start point, but we're just gonna work from here. The technique that I show though should work in, even if you're not necessarily starting from this stance. Okay? All right, so obviously the goal is to have the gun be as stable as possible, but for me, shooting strong hand, weak hand is a lot of just overcoming kind of anticipation of recoil. Like when I'm shooting weak hand only, I tend to have way more flinch than I do if I'm just shooting normally or strong hand only. So I'm gonna just show you kind of how I hold the gun and how I position my body to have the most advantageous position. Okay, so I usually like to have the foot advanced forward for the side that's shooting. So if I'm shooting freestyle with two hands, I'm like this. If I was to shoot strong hand only, I advance my right foot forward. Or if I was shooting freestyle like this, and I'm now shooting left-handed, I'm probably going to leave this foot forward. Okay? You can shoot strong hand only like this, but for me at least, I feel more confident and more powerful behind the gun if I change my feet. Okay, so you can experiment with that. A thing you can practice is transitioning the gun between your two hands. So you can shoot freestyle, strong hand, weak hand. All right? So I'm going to shoot 2 rounds freestyle, 2 rounds strong hand, then weak hand, then back to strong hand to practice passing the gun off. Here we go. Okay, now you may notice that I like to also cant the gun a little bit. So when I shoot strong hand or weak hand, I actually cant the gun a little tiny bit, not like a full gangster style grip, but just maybe 20-30 degrees off center. A lot of folks do that. I can't really explain the mechanics of why it seems to help, but you do tend to feel like you have a little more control over the gun. So I'll shoot some headshots strong hand only. I'm going to come back to freestyle and shoot strong hand only into the head. I'm pretty satisfied with that. So then back to freestyle, and now I'm going to transition weak hand only. And it really is just all about picking up your front sight and trying to break the shot clean. Again, you'll see I rotate the gun over when I shoot weak hand only, okay? There are a whole bunch of theories out there which you might be interested in checking out about how to clear malfunctions and do all kinds of other manipulations, strong hand and weak hand only. I won't show them here because some of them are kind of dangerous and weird, but obviously the philosophy there is that you're able to do all the same manipulations with just one hand if you're injured in a gunfight. The case study for that to look at is probably the Miami-Dade shootout in April of '86. Go read up on that if you're curious. That's when the FBI encountered 2 heavily armed bank robbers and sort of everybody got shot in the hand. So it's a really interesting case study on how the FBI then developed their firearms training for strong hand and weak hand shooting. Okay? That's how I do it. Try it at the range. Be careful. Be especially careful if you're transitioning the gun between hands. You want to do that dry and slow first to start. You'll also notice that I pull my other hand into my chest. Some people like that, it makes them feel stronger, but the theory also is you're using your wounded wing to protect your vitals as you shoot with one hand, okay? All right, I hope that was an interesting one for you guys. Go try it at the range, be safe, and we'll see you next time.